All right, y'all. It is time to kick off today's conversation, and we have a very special guest on the line today, and Mr. Brandon Malinowski, who is with the Wave Media Company, based back in Detroit, Michigan. One of my boys from high school, a little bit younger than I, but brothers nonetheless. In regards to our connection from Catholic Central, and we've been in contact ever since. And since kind of the inception of this podcast. He's been in contact with me a little bit more so than we had previously too. One, because I think he liked what I had going on, but two, him and some of his boys as well from Catholic Central wanted to get a podcast of their own up and running, get things going with their Wave Media Group as well. So I think he sought out maybe a little knowledge, a little guidance in this realm a little bit. So our relationship has grown over the past couple of months because of those very things. And I was thinking last week, again, I kind of like I mentioned last week with my real estate stuff, having Mr. Riley Bola and Sam Flamont on and kind of pushing ourselves outside of our comfort zones to learn new things, do new things, learn new skill sets. I wanted to have Brandon on the Wave Media team on this week and hopefully the next coming weeks as well to get their take on social media and media in general. What are some things that we can be doing? I'll provide some context, and he very much is going to do the same in regards to new apps or new platforms or how we can start posting new things to get our personal brands out there, our company's brands out there, what have you. So for the next couple of Wednesdays, we're going to hop on this thing together, banter back and forth about some topics, some issues, and we're going to kind of see what comes of it. So with that, I want to welcome Mr. Brandon Malinowski to the conversation. Looking great, my brother.
Let's go.
I'm glad we can link up to do this, dude. So let's rock it, dog.
Me too. Well, hey, I'm no Riley Bola. I peaked in high school. That guy's a beast. But I'm going to do my best to, kind of help out and kind of create some good content for the people here.
Absolutely right, dude. And I think we got a good little topic, a hot topic on for today, in that we are going to be discussing TikTok. And for those of you who know what that is, I think most do, at least of the younger generations right now, kind of an up-and-coming application. They got some music on there. You can create some cool videos. Just kind of a new school, maybe Vine, if you remember Vine. New school Instagram, a little bit Twitter. They kind of combined a bunch of different things into what they're calling TikTok right now. And I'm on TikTok. Brandon is yet to make the jump. So I think we have two people on opposite ends of the spectrum that can provide context for both of those ends and maybe meet in the middle somewhere today with why we believe, or maybe you shouldn't believe you should be on there or whatnot. So B, let's set it off like this, dude. TikTok, again, for me, I think is one, it's a new situation that I'm kind of throwing myself at to learn a little bit more about culture, about what, kids are doing these days, what they're kind of gravitating towards, because the majority of the people on there are still, again, of the younger generation. So that's what I love about it. And it's forcing me outside of my comfort zone to, again, learn these new skill sets and new ways of communication. So for you, just kind of a first idea of what TikTok is, the good, the bad, the happy side, just generally speaking, what's your angle on that application so far?
I think it's interesting. I'm up against it because my entire team is like strongly against TikTok. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
And we actually have some interesting blog posts about that on our page that you can check out. But for me, it seems like such an interesting application. It's different from, it seems like it's trying to take a bunch of good pieces of a lot of reputable platforms and it trims the fat. And that's what I love about it. I think it's really cool to see the creativity of people. Admittedly, like with my scrolling, don't tell my girl, but I guess like most of it to me, I'm looking at it right now. Most of it is like girls in bikinis doing dances and stuff. Yeah. Like first one, she's twerking. Where's her daddy?
She's got a lot going on. Yeah.
Where's her daddy? And the second one, like maybe it's just me, but
maybe it's what you're following, dog. Maybe that's just you. I don't know.
This is all on the For You page. I don't even follow anybody. I just downloaded it. But the thing that's interesting to me that like made me want to have this discussion was like, it's not just pretty girls dancing, right? Mm-hmm. You have a page and you're using it to leverage your business and you're using it to bring awareness to the things that you're trying to do, your daily agenda, and what you're trying to accomplish as far as serving others is concerned, helping others grow. And one of the things that you said to me that kind of stuck out was like, hey, man, it's not necessarily my favorite platform. Do I want to be dancing and pointing at, interesting, or little pop-ups every couple of days when I'm posting videos? No, not necessarily. It's kind of fun is what you said, but it's not my favorite thing to do.
Yep.
But it's a new way to reach a different audience. And I think it's interesting because you see platforms like Facebook. Facebook started, as everybody knows, on college campuses, younger demographics. And then when people got sick of Facebook because grandma and mom were posting on their pictures and stuff like that, they went over to Instagram. And I think that's what you're starting to see with TikTok. And that's so interesting to me. So share with me the kind of, have you had success with your platform? Is it still in the inception stage? How many videos you got? And what are people responding to?
Yep. That's perfect. And there's so many different directions I think I could go with that one. And I think first and foremost, all the points that you made are extremely valid. There's certainly no right answer when it comes to your angle and specifically speaking about this app. But for me, kind of like I mentioned at the beginning, one, it's a new way to communicate. It's a new way to challenge yourself to communicate to the masses, to see if you can develop that skill set. And what I mean by that is this. I listen to Jay Shetty. He's got a phenomenal podcast talking about a wide variety of things. But what he kind of talks about with his content and his overall message is that when you look at two separate entities, you think about education and you think about entertainment. The vast majority of people are always seeking out entertainment, right? So maybe it is watching a bunch of videos on social media, or maybe it is going out on a Friday night to the bar, or it is going to the movie theater, or it is going out to eat or get whatever. Entertainment is what the vast majority of people seek, right, wrong, or indifferent. That's just the reality of the situation. Now, there's a much smaller group of people that seek out education in their free time, right? So Friday night, instead of going out to the bar, maybe they're staying in to read a book. Or Saturday night during the day, instead of heading off to the pool in the summertime, they're heading off to a conference that they're going to learn some more, whatever, right? So
God bless them, right?
That's exactly right.
The learners out there.
God bless them. That's why I get up a little bit earlier so I can get that in and then, head out.
They're the people rowing the boat in life,
Exactly right. And again, right, wrong, or indifferent, that number who seek out education in their free time is definitely much smaller than most, right? That's kind of an objective viewpoint. So what Jay Shetty was getting at is, how can I bridge the gap between entertainment and education so I can reach the masses, right?
You got to trick them almost without tricking them, right? You're making it fun, making it engaging, but you're tricking them into learning something under the guise of having a good time, entertainment, right?
Exactly right. So how can I pull you in just enough with the entertainment value and then sprinkle in the education as I go within a 10-second clip, a 15-second clip, a 30-second clip? And the best can do that, right? The best can do it, especially on these platforms, the most successful people that you see. Again, yes, are you going to get the girls dancing and that's all they're posting? Fantastic. Like if that's the route you want to take, that's what you want to do with the platform, by all means, do your thing. Because again, a lot of people seek that entertainment value. So you can go that route and do your thing and find success in that. Where for me, that's just not me. I just don't want to provide value. I don't want to spend my time doing so. And that's okay too. But I'm also not naive to the fact that, again, most people are going to seek out the entertainment value of these apps. They don't want me babbling on there about X, Y, and Z in all my videos and making it stale and static and whatever. How can I spice it up a little bit, still achieve the same message and get this stuff across, but kind of meet them where they're at with that entertainment value and sprinkle in the education on the side? So generally speaking, when it comes to, again, TikTok, where you have music in the background, if you like, you can edit some text where there's pop-up bubbles, you can whatever. That's what I like about it, because one, it is pushing me outside my comfort zone, but two, a lot more people are on there for the entertainment. How can I reach them with that real quick? Pull them in for 10 seconds, sprinkle in that value on the side, and now I got you. So am I perfect at that yet? Absolutely not. That is a long road ahead, my brother, but it's fun, again, to challenge myself in that regard, kind of see where it's going to take me. And I have found a little bit of success with it so far, and I'm looking forward to, pushing the envelope a little bit more with it. So generally speaking, that's kind of my viewpoint on it.
I like it. So one thing that seems possible to me is because the demographic is so young and because the nature of the platform itself is like fun, lighthearted videos, it seems as though it creates an avenue for someone, a professional such as yourself, to kind of let your guard down a little bit. So I see you're posting content all the time. Again, for my listeners, if you haven't checked out his stuff, we'll link it. Check it out. Motivation is like taking a shower. You got to do it often,
Yeah.
every 2 to 3 days if you're me. I'm just playing. But you gotta do it often. So I see you posting on Facebook. I see you posting things on LinkedIn. You got Coop's Corner on YouTube. Is your content, like your thought process on what you can get away with or how you can go about, getting a message across, different when you're using TikTok, or are we not there yet?
Yeah, it for sure is. But again, I think it's just the means to the same end, right? So I'm still trying to accomplish the same thing on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Snapchat, on my website, on YouTube, on TikTok. I'm trying to accomplish the same thing, but you can't be ignorant to the fact that these different platforms, one, have different demographics on it, and two, the algorithms play to a certain, vibe or a certain, tag or a certain whatever. So I think you have to play the game still a little bit to reach what you want to reach. Because again, you can be a little bit more maybe stoic or maybe a little bit more straight to the point on LinkedIn, because that's what people are on there. It's for professionals. So we can kind of talk like we're talking right now. Great. But on TikTok, if we had this conversation and I posted on there, it's getting negative 100 views because people aren't on that platform to receive the type of message in that capacity. Right. So I think the end goal is still the same, but the means in which you can go about trying to achieve that most certainly has to differ. And again, I just think that's being a good communicator. And I'm not saying you're a bad communicator if you can't do so, but I think it just helps you, again, push those limits and learn new ways to communicate with a 5-year-old versus a 70-year-old, or a business professional versus a surfer. Like it's just this whole different thing, and it's a huge game, and you have to play it if you want to reach a wide variety of people. If you just want to rock it out on Facebook and be, the dude on there, great. But again, I just see it as a challenge to broaden your horizons in terms of your communication a little bit.
Right. So for your lifestyle and fitness coaching, your motivational message, do you see this platform being something that actually creates lead generations for you, creates true business opportunities beyond just, visual exposure to your content online?
I do. And for the sole reason, I think about what you just said in terms of letting your guard down a little bit, because, at least for me, and I feel like probably most people feel this way, when you see quote unquote motivational speakers or gurus or these different things, and they kind of put on this front all the time, and you never really get to see their human side, which we all have, but you can kind of write your own narrative when it comes to social media for the most part. You can put whatever you want on there. You can make it look however you want to look. Great. Again, good, bad, happy, sad, indifferent, it doesn't matter. You can do that for yourself. But I think people connect to people, right? Like if I can just throw the facts up on the board and people can read it and hopefully they're going to take to it. But again, so that's why storytellers are so powerful, or good movies are so powerful, whatever, because there's a human element to that. There's a human side to that. And I think when I do get on there and dance a little bit, I don't enjoy doing that. I'm doing it while I'm making dinner sometimes, and fiance's looking at me all crazy. Like, what the hell are you doing? Dog's looking at me all crazy. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, I don't really like it either, or not even like it, but it makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable. But again, like, everybody can relate to making dinner. Like, I'm in the crock pot doing my thing, and that's when I throw up a little blurb when I'm dancing. Like, cool. Like, if that's what I have to do to connect to somebody, to get across, I will more than do that. I'm not selling my soul to do it. It's just, again, stepping outside myself a little bit, meeting people where they're at, and going from there. And I think when you can show your human side a little bit more to the maybe professional side, or just the content side or your work side, that's going to open up more avenues for you, especially with kids or young adults or what have you. Because I don't know. I just think the human side's a really powerful thing if you can grab at hearts versus just minds. And I think that's what this platform does, not just for me, but for a wide variety of people too.
I like it a lot. So you talk about TikTok and how you're leveraging it as a platform now. I'm going to open-ended, all the platforms that you're using.
Yep.
If you think that if we just like we had to, they're on a lineup, all right, and you're looking
Yep.
through the two-way glass, and
Yep.
you have to axe one platform from, your initiatives. Which one would that be?
If I had to ask
Don't
one,
say TikTok.
it would probably be Facebook. It would probably be
Whoa,
Facebook.
that surprises me. That
Um,
really surprises me because that's where I see most of your content. That's where
yeah,
I capture most of it,
it would probably be
or become
Facebook.
aware of your content at least.
Okay, well that's good to know. So maybe I can retract that statement a little bit.
That's just me
Um,
though.
no, 100%. And I think when it comes to Facebook, I have absolutely no tangible evidence, no tangible reason, no hard data to kind of support that notion. Um, but that's just it's just kind of always how I felt about Facebook. I kind of just feel blah about it. And maybe it's because I don't necessarily have a business, because I've done research on, advertising on Facebook and different placements of ads and different things, how that stuff can explode. I don't necessarily have a product or a business to sell in that regard yet. So maybe that'll change a little bit down the line. But for
Give us a
me,
call. Wave Media does ad services on Facebook and all major platforms.
they absolutely do. So shout out
Shameless
to
plug.
Wave. Shout out to Wave. We'll throw that in the description. Maybe I need to maybe I need to call y'all to figure out how to leverage this thing a little bit more.
Pro
But
bono for family, baby.
there you go. There you go. But yeah, it would probably be Facebook, because I like Twitter for the simple fact of it, of the character limitation. So can you get your point across in whatever it is, 140 characters or whatever it is? Now, I don't even know. Or less. Like, that's a challenge. Like, of course people can write novels all day, but I think it's a challenge to be concise. And again, that's what attracts people a little bit more. I love that aspect. I love the LinkedIn thing because it's professional based. You can be a little bit more, tightened up, if you will, on there. I love the creative side of TikTok, Instagram. I've always liked Instagram. I think everyone kind of does to some degree. So yeah, I think Facebook, dude. And again, absolutely no emotional connection or like, it's just, I don't know. And inside, that's just how I feel. And, hopefully Facebook's not listening, so my stuff gets, nixed out of the algorithm there. But, yeah, I would say Facebook, dude. I would say Facebook.
I hear you. So our team does a divide and conquer approach. I manage the Twitter page. Mike manages the LinkedIn. Ryan manages the Instagram, and Ken manages our Facebook.
Okay.
For me, Twitter is my favorite. As far as growing our podcast audience, that has been, or at least like figuring out exactly what people are interested in what. I've found that search engine to be a very valuable tool if you're willing to work it, right? So you can't just type in podcast recommendations and, reply a link to absolutely everybody. If I'm going to go and take that approach, I'm going to make it very, very personal. If your name is in your Twitter handle, I'm going to call you by name, and I'm going to try to figure out what you're interested in and recommend an episode for you. Which leads me to my question. Okay. So for me, I love Twitter because Twitter is like a jungle. I compare it to, it's the jungle. Like, anything goes on Twitter, and that's so cool to me. This is a tough one, but if you could
Okay.
compare, TikTok to something, it's definitely not a jungle because you got your censorship. What is TikTok?
Oh man. I think TikTok is most certainly a party.
It's the
Um,
jungle gym. It's for the kids.
it's the jungle gym. It's the Friday night in college. It's the maybe day parties on a Saturday in the springtime in Michigan, up in East Lansing. I think it's that because, again, you can find entertainment value wherever you go, right? So if you want to go out to the club on Friday night, you can most certainly go find some entertainment if you so please. But at the same time, there's always some of those cool cats in the club or the bar or at those parties that are kind of chilling over in the corner, or, all the people seem to be going and gravitating towards them for whatever reason. And you always got those interesting cats that kind of get all the attention. And it might take a little while to understand who they are, what they're about, why are people kind of heading over their way, or why are people gravitating towards them. But I think those are the people that, quote unquote, win in the end. And it is cool to be, I guess, the guy in the middle of the dance floor, dancing, doing your thing, all good. I've been that cat. I still am sometimes if we get it going a little bit. But when push comes to shove, I think, yeah, you can relate it to a party, because if you want to find one, you can find whatever you want, I think, on these TikTok platforms, just like you can when you are partying a little bit. But I think the people that quote unquote win in the end are always the people that are kind of on the outside a little bit, looking in and being tactical and being they're kind of plotting out their next move and whatnot by observing, having a little fun, but at the same time, they're a little more heady about what they're doing. So just off rip, I guess I would say, yeah, it would probably be more of a party scene than a jungle.
Dude, we just came up with a cool quote on accident. You ready for it?
Come on.
Twitter may be the jungle, but TikTok is the jungle gym.
There you go.
Let's go.
You might want to, what's that called? Trademark that.
You can have it.
All right. Yeah.
All right, man. Well,
on a poster.
Well, I think we covered quite a few things here in a short period of time. Let's let our listeners get on with their day, and we'll get on with ours. But John, thanks so much for having us today. It was wonderful talking with you, and I'm looking forward to figuring out our next topic.
No doubt, dude. We will most certainly run it back next week. Appreciate your listeners too. And everyone listening, let us know what you think. Good, bad, happy, sad. We love the feedback. And we'll keep this thing rocking, y'all. All right?
And follow my boy, Coach Coob, on TikTok. Let's go, baby.
Likewise. Let's go. All right, B. Have a great one, dog.
You too.
Yep.